Hello everybody, hi, it's Rob at Rob's TV World. How you doing? So, if you know me from my other channel, Old Style Classics Baseball Cards, nice to meet you. If you don't, I'm Rob. From Chicago originally, grew up in Albuquerque, New Mexico, and now I live in the Bay Area, California, and Santa Clara, just outside of San Jose. And I've been here for about 15 years. So, this channel is I have a baseball card channel, basically, old style classics baseball cards, where I show different kind of cards that I like and stuff that I have, like these Allen and Ginter that just came out like a week ago. Um, they're old-fashioned cards from, they look like the ones from the 1800s. So I'm a big fan of that stuff. And I've done like 800 videos and all kinds of oddball cards and collectibles and stuff like that. So that's what that channel's for. Now this channel I've had for almost 17 years, something like that, Rob's TV World. And this originally I was uploading videos from concerts that I've been to, because I've been to like 593 concerts. Because I did have two other channels, Old Style Classics, which I think is still out there, but I just can't log into it, that has some videos that I took live in Albuquerque back in the day. And then I had, I think it was the Big Top or the Little Top. And those channels, those got copyrighted out of existence for posting videos. But nevertheless, I still wanted to have a channel where I can maybe post videos without like the title or something like that. And that's why I had this channel. But then I kept getting stuff copyrighted and losing my channel, which I didn't want to happen. And then when I was using Facebook more, I realized that Facebook, I could just post the videos to my Facebook page, share them with the people that I know, or just keep them private and not have like the computer go through and find my stuff and then cancel it. But I also am a big collector of other things like ticket stubs. I love ticket stubs from concerts. I love going to concerts and sporting events and all that stuff. And I have a couple, I'm into my third book of ticket stubs, and I always wanted to do video where I show those and talk about the concert and do that kind of stuff. So that's one of the reasons why I want to have this channel. But I also have other interests too, like everyday carry kind of things, like pocket knives or pins and all the different kind of stuff that I like and what I'm into. So I love reading. I'm a big fan of Louis L'Amour books, and I am a huge fan of ancient Greece. So that being said, I'm going to do a reveal here today that I did get in the mailbox, but even though I ordered it from Amazon, it came through the post office. So anyways, I got this little package, and it's something to do with one of my other huge interests and hobbies is ancient Greece mythology, and I'm a huge fan of the goddess Pallas Athena and Glaucopis, the gray-eyed goddess. I'm a huge fan of that. And our heroes, I'm a huge fan of the Iliad and the Odyssey. The Odyssey is my favorite book. I just had my wife watch with me the Fall of a City, Troy Fall of a City on Amazon. It was actually pretty good, other than character swaps that they did. They really did try to get the gods involved. They left some things out, and then I had her watch the old, and I thought it was from the 80s, but the Armand Desante Odyssey TV special, which was a two-part, like 3-hour mini-series. I guess it was in 97. I thought it was from the 80s, but maybe I got that mixed up with him doing Napoleon and Josephine. But that, that for a TV movie is pretty good. So now that she's got the gist of the Iliad and the Odyssey and all the stuff that I'm into, and the good thing about that Fall of Troy story was that if you've read the Odyssey and the Iliad, they don't really talk about why they went there, other than just like briefly mentioning it. And then in the Iliad, it just kind of ends, and it doesn't ever talk about the Trojan horse and all that, like if you've seen Troy, the Brad Pitt movie. Those stories are lost epic poems from like Homer. The stories that it mentioned those, but enough people knew about that stuff from plays or other people's writings or describing what those other works had said is how we know that that's what happened. You know, like Agamemnon having to kill his daughter to get the Greeks to be able to go there because he offended the gods, and then Odysseus getting tired of waiting and Athena helping him out come up with the Trojan horse because he's using wisdom because she's the goddess of war, wisdom, just to name a few. And then, of course, he offends, I believe, Poseidon on the way back or leaving Troy, and he gets stuck not being able to go home for 10 years. Poseidon doesn't want to kill him, he just wants to make him suffer for not honoring the gods. So I had her watch that, and great stuff. So I'll be talking about different books that I've read that tell some of these stories, whether it's the Aeneid. That was neat that they had Aeneas in the story. A lot of it was told kind of from Helen's angle or the Trojan, but it was actually a really good show. I would recommend it. And then, of course, the 1997 Odyssey, the Odyssey, with Armando Sante and Eric Roberts, who happens to be Emma Roberts' dad, who has a beautiful card in this year's Allen and Ginter set. So that's pretty neat. But anyway, so let's show you what we got here. The reason I want to show this, because I got a bunch of stuff that I really want to get into. Some rings and necklaces and stuff that I do have. And talk about the books. I've got some pins and some inkwells and stuff that have to do with this kind of stuff. Like I ordered this off of Etsy. And that is a Minerva ink blotter. So when you're writing with fountain pen on paper and it's really wet, you do that. Now I can show you a picture of it. I'll do a special episode with this. I cleaned it up a lot. It was really filthy. It's from the 1800s. But if you know your Greek and Roman mythology, Athena, obviously the Greeks were first, and then the Romans. Athena is Zeus's daughter, not with Hera, but with another goddess. But he was afraid of being overthrown if he had another son. So he swallowed her, but then she was birthed from his head. And that's why she's the goddess of wisdom, because she's super smart. She's goddess of war, smart things, protector of cities and stuff like that. The olive, the owl, wisdom, all those kind of things. And, you know, the Romans took over, you know, the classical Greco-Roman world. And they had their own names for the gods, like Jupiter and stuff like that, instead of Zeus. So Minerva was Athena's name in Latin. And so... yeah, I got this. I couldn't find one with Athena, but I did find a Minerva. So that's my favorite goddess, so figured I should show her right off the bat. But I prefer the Greek names. Yeah, like if you check out some of the translations of the Iliad and the Odyssey, it makes me mad when I see them saying stuff like Minerva and Jupiter and Jove and all that stuff instead of the actual Greek names, because it's a Greek story. The Aeneid is the Roman attempt at doing an epic poem, which kind of half the book is Aeneas's version of the Iliad and the other half is Aeneas's version of the Odyssey. But nevertheless, I still like it. I mean, cool image. Cleaned it up. It was super filthy. I'll show you a picture. It was kind of really like that. But that's cool. And so then for my work, this is why I'm showing you guys this. I wanted to get this little picture because I'm a huge, obviously the Odyssey is my favorite book, and I wanted to get something that I can hang at my cubicle at work. So I ordered this and another print. I guess it's on actual canvas here, so I guess you could frame it, but I'm just going to pin it up to my cubicle board. So I want to take it to work. That's why I want to do this video and get this out there. So this is a reprint, I guess, of a famous piece of art depicting Odysseus. So let's take this stuff off here. This way I can take it to work and hang it up and not have to be like, dang it, I gotta save this for a video. And if I speak too slow for you folks, please speed up your videos. Might sound a little monotone, a little clogged up, and I might ramble on sometimes, especially about Athena or stuff like that. Oh, but anyways, so grew up in New Mexico, live here now. Grew up cowboy stuff. So I love classical music, rock, hard rock, country. I spent years and years country dancing, trying to meet girls and stuff like that. And so I'll be talking about cowboy boots and hats and all that kind of stuff. Watches, other EDC, everyday carry kind of stuff. Concerts and all that. So anyways, so it's not like a super reveal. So it comes with wrapped around this tube, plastic or something. And this is pretty cool. So I'm going to hang this up at my desk. And this is an image of Odysseus heading back home on his ship with his men. And these are the Sirens. So if you know the story of the Sirens, which they did not depict in the Odyssey with Armand de Sante, but that's okay. Basically, he wanted to hear the Sirens song. So they would sing songs off on the shore somewhere, and the men would be so captivated, and you can see that in Oh Brother Where Art Thou, the George Clooney movie, because that's based on the Odyssey, that whole storyline, where they go and find the girls washing clothes and they get lured in by them. But in Greek myth, these guys would have heard their song and crashed into the rocks and been devoured or whatever. But Odysseus, being smart and a favorite of Athena, because he uses his brain and not just his emotions and all this, he wanted to hear the song, so he had his men tie him to the mast of the boat so he can hear their song, but couldn't do anything about it, and made them stuff their ears with like beeswax so they wouldn't hear the song. And so that's what this is depicting. I'm not sure who the artist is. I guess I could look it up, but you guys could check that out. This thing is like, I believe this is 8 inches, like a regular piece of paper, by like 14 inches, and it's got enough overhang here on this canvas that you could frame it if you wanted, but I'll just pin it up because this thing was like 18 bucks, something like that. Took about a week to get here, but I guess because I used the post office. It's super cool. It's not just like cheap poster. Now the other one, I did order another one to go up there with it because I'm a huge fan of the Iliad and Odyssey and all that Greek myth, but mostly he's a favorite of Athena, and I ordered another something similar to this, which I should get next week, I think, which is another favorite of Athena, and that's Perseus having slain Medusa and showing her head, which of course Athena has Medusa's head image on her shield, and also she wears her actual head on her chest plate, her Aegeus or whatever, her protection. So basically, if you wanted to fight her, you would be turned to stone. So anyways, actually right now on Amazon I was looking up the story about Medusa, because I was gonna watch Clash of the Titans tonight to show my wife that stuff. But anyways, so that's it. That's a beautiful painting. I mean, it's not Leonardo da Vinci good, but it's pretty cool. I actually have a painting of Athena driving Ares from the battlefield in Troy, because there's a couple of them from like 1777, I believe, and they had a competition, and there was like 2 that made the finals, and I bought the one that won, or it's Minerva driving Mars from the field, of whichever title you want to go by. I was going to get a small version of that, but those were like $60 or whatever. The other version's actually pretty cool too, but I like the one, and I ordered a full size regular size painting, you know, like a yard wide by a yard and a half long or whatever, and actually had it framed. And you know, the painting cost me like 90 bucks because it came from China, but the framing cost me like 400 bucks. But my wife won't let me put it up, so she should be coming home any minute now. I guess she just texted me. But anyway, so here's some of the stuff that you might see here on Rob's TV World. Hey, tell me what you think. If you like this kind of stuff, like, subscribe. If you know the name of the artist, let me know. I could easily look it up on the order, but actually using the computer to record this right now, so that's cool. Now I can take it to work and check it out. So yeah, it's pretty good quality for I like that material it's on. Yeah, that'll be cool at work because I got like a Medusa coffee cup. It's got her actual face on it. I got a bust of Athena, one that's really cool. I'll have to bring home and do a video on. I got an Athena little statue, and also been using this Athena ink with my new fountain pen, which I did get a Grail pen. I got the modern version, like this year's version of the Visconti Homo sapiens Bronze Age. So I got this. This is the second bottle of this Athena Gray because she's called the Gray-Eyed Goddess. But it's really dark. It's pretty black, but it's not as black as say Cross Black. But I like that Athena stuff. I got a little ink jar that has a little owl on it because the owl is also a symbol of her, because of that's why they call the owls wise. As you can see there, Medusa's face there. But that painting will be in a video coming up next week. So like I said, reach out and let me know what you think. And you know, I won't always try to keep these videos super long, and I'll be a little more concise, but I really want to take this to work, so I figured I'd just do this really quick. Hey everybody, thanks for watching Rob's TV World. No news on the Timex Atelier. It's not available yet, so still waiting on that, so I haven't shipped that back yet. And that's been my main theme recently. If you see my other videos, those are from like 15 years ago with low quality camera that I had. But some of the stuff that I felt that I had on private for a long time, I didn't want to upset like my wife or something because of bad language and stuff like that. Anywho, and I had some concert videos on there that are still private, like Robert Plant singing Monkey. I got to meet Robert Plant, so there's a little tease. I've met who knows, 500-600 celebrities, you know, as far as like bands and stuff like that. So obviously, if I've only been to like just about 600 concerts, you know, I've met multiple people in the bands. So that's part of my ticket stub collection, which I have a lot of autographed ticket stubs. I have autographed books, pictures, and these kind of things. Of course, baseball cards. But those will be stories that I release if you're interested in any of this stuff. If not, that's okay. Then it'll be out there hopefully forever. So someday if I die, people will know that, hey, this is what concert this guy got to go to, or he met this guy, and this is a story, or something like that. So I'll tell the story like how I met Robert Plant, or the president, Bush, all these things. Alright everybody, I hope you like that. I dig it. I think it's pretty cool. It's pretty small, and that works perfect for my little desk space. So anyways, thanks for watching. If you do, I'm Robert at Rob's TV World, and let's get this channel going. Thanks everybody. See you later.